up, YouTube? We out here, we meeting with Anthony and the Cobra. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, well, actually, this is actually where I'm at.
Yeah?
Yeah, it goes higher than this.
Hey.
It rides here because that way crappy South Carolina roads don't bust it up.
Right.
So it'll go.
So what year is this?
04.
04?
Yep.
Okay.
2004. Got 108,000 miles on it.
Yeah. So got my boy a little camera now.
See if I can get this to connect real quick.
Yeah, we out here. We with the Cobra. 04. As you can see. Go do a couple pulls. Get some pictures of it. First time riding in the Cobra. Oh, 4x4 stands. Okay then, on the ground. Alright. Yeah, that's definitely clean. So, what's the rundown on it like?
So, the airbags, it's a custom airlift P3 setup. They don't make a kit for the suspension for the IRS for the Cobras, so it's a little bit custom back there with some ride tech. So a posi ported Eaton car.
Right.
JLT intent. So it makes a little over 500 to the tire.
Yeah.
I put anniversary interior in it. Got a really good deal on it, so it's got anniversary interior.
That's the black and red interior you got?
So people now kind of think it's an anniversary car sometimes, but it's not. It's an 04 car.
Yeah.
Twin disc, McLeod, clutch, upgraded T56. Got some decent parts in it.
And you say these are the XXR?
Yep, 565.
565s?
Yep, I love them.
Yeah, those look good.
Trap window tint, ceramic all the way around.
Okay, I'll make sure I tag him in the description.
Yeah, Trap does good work. He's done every car I've had pretty much. True Forge hood vents. I don't think True Forge exists anymore. They're paint match for the car.
Okay.
Tinted headlights, tinted taillights.
How you like the ATS brake conversion?
I love it, man. It's way better than the stock Cobra brakes. Stock Cobra brakes are junk.
Right.
It's good. Carter's custom side skirts. It's actually one me and him kind of worked together with. I had his Gen 1s. Still got them.
Right.
I had his Gen 1s on the car. Really liked them. Kind of told him what I was really wanting to get. Had a storm come through and mess it up. So
yeah, I remember that.
yeah, I went to SSR Collision. My buddy Chris Tress.
Yeah, he got the
Mr.
right?
Chrome. He's
Yeah.
got, not Mr. Chrome. Oh God, he's gonna hate me for that. He's got the midnight purple Terminator.
The wheels still paint match to the car?
I don't think so. I don't think, no, they're not paint matched to the car. I know you're talking about getting some other ones at some point, but no, Chris really did a good job on the paint job. I recommend him. Like I said, I took my car all the way to North Atlanta to have him paint it.
Right.
That's how much I respect his work. So
yeah, that's a good ride.
Yeah, it was a good ride, but it's worth it. The car looks really good. I'm happy with the paint job.
Right.
And it's poorly exhaust. It's a set of stingers. I don't really mind having it not like obnoxiously loud.
Right.
It's loud when I want it to be. That's all that really matters. Car hooks up well.
Toyos?
Yeah, man, the TQs look really well for a street car.
Expensive tire, ain't it?
Yeah, not as expensive as the tire I used to run. I used to run NCO1s.
Right.
They're autocross tire, but these are about, I don't know, like $75 cheaper-ish. So, I mean, you know, $150 every time you change rear tires.
Right.
But like me, you change rear tires at least once a year. When you get shenanigans.
That ain't too bad.
Yeah,
that ain't too bad at all.
I love the car. It's come a long way since I bought it. It's gonna get better. I got something else I just got. Gonna be spending some money on it, but this car will eventually get a Whipple and the E85 upgrade. But I'll show you the engine bay. It's clean for what it is.
Okay. More or less all tinted tail lights. That wrinkle black?
Yeah, it's wrinkle black on the supercharger. Like I said, it's a little dirty. I haven't really messed with it a whole lot, but sorry. Empty report.
You bought it yourself?
Well, no, I bought that like that. Somebody had it powder coated and painted when they did the posi port on it, and I got it from them. We have the Alco is the powder coated red. The Moroso. Yeah, the Moroso tank, Moroso heat exchanger tank. Those are both powder coated black.
If you had a choice between this and the Coyote car, would you keep this?
Oh, every day.
Every day?
Every day.
I figured that.
Every day.
I'm kind of in the same position. I got the Coyote car. I like it. But I like my older Mustang a lot better. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things about the Coyote cars. I don't dislike them. It's really hard to make one sound good to me.
Right.
I'm not a fan of how a lot of them sound.
Right.
This car just sounds fantastic, and I like the older stuff, man.
Right.
I wanted one of these since I was like 12 years old. They showed up at the Detroit Auto Show. So to have one was kind of surreal. The car's tuned by Dan at Pro Dyno.
Yeah.
People say what they want to about him, but I have beat on this car repeatedly over the 2 years since he tuned it. You can look at my Instagram if you want. Plenty of videos on there of me beating on the car, doing burnouts,
Right.
all sorts of stuff. So I can't complain with the tune the car has. The car runs great. Every time I turn the key, it starts. I was messing with mine the other day. I didn't realize mine has like a 4K 60 FPS setting.
Right.
Which is wild.
Yeah, that's what I usually shoot it with my phone or whatever, because I thought about buying a camera, but sometimes I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, you take solid video with a phone. I mean, hey, it works.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this car used to have a sound system in it. I'm probably going to put one back in it now that I'm changing things up with the car.
Right.
Got a Pioneer head unit. It works great. Sounds okay. I need to get rid of the Mach system because the Mach whatever system is in it's kind of messed up.
Right.
16-year-old wiring starting to give up. We'll run up through here through North Augusta now. Hit I-20 or 520 and we'll make a couple pulls.
Okay, slide down. Old school, new ass sound. I like that.
Hard to beat them.
Yeah, it is. Especially versus the Coyote, side by side, I take the older cars all day long. They just have that muscle car.
Yeah, and I mean, there's something about these cars, especially the new Edge, especially, man. It's like don't get it wrong. It's like it's a 2000 shitbox. Like that's what it is.
Right.
Like, but you know, even with the plastic interior and whatever, I mean, the car just there's something that feels special about the car.
Right.
It's kind of like the C5 and C6 Corvettes. Like the Z's in that era are so awesome.
Right.
And like the C7 does nothing for me. Like man, they're great cars, but they don't do anything for me. This car, man, is just it's such like I guess an icon in its time. You know, one of the most powerful cars in its class when it came out, if not the most powerful car.
Right.
And they were rated, I think, 385 horsepower in the factory, and you know, stock cars were dyno testing at like 375. So I mean, obviously that number was a little bit undersold.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I mean, the car's great. I love it. The air ride system has made this car completely different. It rides like a dream.
Yeah, it definitely rides smooth. That's my first time riding one like that.
I've got it stiffened up pretty good right now.
Right.
I was playing with some stuff, see if I could ride lower. And I can ride a little bit lower, but the ride's a little bit less comfortable than sorts of adjustment. It's basically like an improved, to me, like an improved coilover system without the having to jack the car up, adjust the coil setup, jack the car up, adjust the coil, jack the car up, adjust the coil. I just hit a button.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
that's worth it right there.
Man, it definitely is a lot easier. Yeah, like anything else, you gotta keep tabs on it. And it's got some antifreeze oil in it right now in the back because it's cold out. But
right,
as long as you do proper maintenance like you would on any other thing, man, airbag systems have come a long way since the early 90s and 2000s. I said I drive the crap out of this car, and I don't ever really have any problems with it, so I can't really complain too much.
Exactly. So would you recommend anybody getting one of these?
A Terminator?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If you can get one, I mean, if you like Mustangs and you like this, like, I guess, style of car, a car that's just like, it's raw. I mean,
right.
It's not a whole lot of technology in this car, but I mean, it's just raw power. I mean, this car just, I mean, it's a different feeling than like a lot of cars. Like, I had a boosted GT. It was Vortec.
Right.
It was a fun car. Came on up top end, but this car, man, it's like as soon as you put your foot in it, like it's an animal. I mean, this car makes the torque curve on this car is flat. I mean, it stays.
I asked because I never ridden in one. I always wanted one,
yeah.
But I'm kind of on the market right now. I'm looking for, it's either right now it's between a Terminator or supercharged on my 2-valve, or doing a swap on it since I already got the body with nothing in it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it wouldn't be bad either way, but I mean, obviously, if you can spring and have the money to go ahead and just get one of these, man, these cars are, there's subtle differences about these cars and the regular GT New Edges that you don't think about. Like,
right.
There's pieces cut in the front end of the car in this car that GTs don't have, so they'll fit wider tires, so you'd have to cut to not rub.
Right.
Full lock. I mean, they're like any other boosted stock car that's got age and miles on it, man. I mean, it's going to take some money. I mean, it's not something I would daily drive. I mean, you could, but the maintenance on it is going to, I mean, if you want to keep one nice, the maintenance is going to catch up with you.
right.
But I mean, they're pretty reliable. I mean, I, knock on wood, don't have too many problems with this one. I mean, I've killed 2 alternators, but you know,
Yeah, that's basic stuff right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pain to get to on this car, but it's not like you know, breaking a bottom end. You got to pull the motor out, do all sorts of stuff like that. But
right.
I mean, they're great cars, man. They work well. They respond to mods well. I mean, you can throw $1,000 on this car and go from 400 horsepower to almost 500 horsepower.
That ain't bad at all.
Like this car with the stock supercharger and a pulley made 465.
Right.
And you know, the stock car is made 385. So I mean, you're talking, you know, a pretty significant jump. And then I put the injectors on it. It's got 80-pound injectors in it. The injectors, $750 blower, or $600-700, whatever I paid for it. Or you can send your blower off to be ported. Port your blower, put better fuel in the car, or more fuel in the car.
Right.
And you spend $2,000, including maybe a twin disc clutch, 2,500-ish, and you got a car that's going to make over 500 horsepower. And you know, I know today's world is anything sub 650 is considered slow, but I mean,
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
and you know, the horsepower wars are alive and well, but I mean, 500 plus car that you can drive to California in is not a slouch. I mean, it's, you know, it's cool. Like the new cars, they make like 4 something NA. That's awesome. But again, I like the old school raw feel
Right.
of this car. I mean, it does what it's supposed to. I mean, it's good power. I mean, the car doesn't weigh, it weighs 3650 dry. So I mean, they're not light, but they're not super duper heavy.
Right.
You can shave some weight off of them if you really want to. I don't really mind it being where it's at. So the car kind of just is what it is at this point. It's a really nice street car that only thing I got really left to do, other than some like small things, I mean,
You got it this way.
I'm gonna put it on E. So I'm gonna do a return child fuel system on it. And it'll get a Whipple probably in a year or two. Depends on how everything goes. So
Exactly.
3.0 Whipple with E85. I'll probably have to buy a T56 Magnum at that point. And the car makes like 750. Be reliable. Be fun. So I mean, that's really all I've got left to do on this car. I am gonna go back here soon and change up the trunk setup.
Right.
I got the trunk setup just kind of there to work. It looks okay, but it needs to be better. I kind of want to do hard lines on the car. The airlift and everything. So it's got some little things I'm gonna do and need to do for it, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of big stuff that needs to happen. I mean, eventually, when this motor ever goes out, I'll probably build a motor for it, bump the compression up a little bit, but I mean, it's not a whole lot left to do to this car. This car is pretty much where it needs to be, minus a couple key components.
Probably let out the window a little bit.
Yeah, like 515, 530, 540 torque.
Dang, that definitely got some kick to it.
Yeah, it moves pretty good, man. It's a pretty fun car.
You can't go wrong with that at all.
It's pretty good. I mean, that was second and third gear pull, so.
Right.
If we can't find a spot to kind of open it up a little bit, we're doing the Augusta's finest, so show up.
I can only imagine what it'll do at 650, 700 horses.
Yeah, they move out quick, man. The cars just make so much torque down low. They just jump.
Right.
They get out and they go, and they don't. A lot of these cars, especially with the stock motors, like 5th and 6th gears, because of the way the rings are gapped and everything, the motors tend to not like it. But
right.
like that. Cool thing is McLeod will, what they'll do is you can send it off and they'll rebuild it up to a RXC for you. So
that ain't bad.
that's pretty cool. And I have to buy, you know, like a whole new thing. Just kind of send it off to them, let them do their thing.
Probably a lot cheaper too to get it rebuilt, huh?
Yeah, I think it should be like sub $1,000. So that's not, you know, it's not terrible.
Yeah, ain't bad.
We start talking about, you know, car parts and performance parts. You know, it's go from a world like, oh man, $1,000 is a lot of money, and then you start spending big money on cars. And you're like, oh, I only got to spend $1,000 to fix this thing. Hell yeah!
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I got to get a new trans.
Yeah. Oh, for the Coyote?
Yeah.
Them MT82 problems.
MT82 shitbox. My third gear going out on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I got the clutch and stuff waiting at the house.
That's usually the gear that gives up.
Yeah, I don't really like it, but I guess I let it do what it do. Plan on pro charging about the end of the year, but I don't really know if I want to keep it. Think about it, it's a good day to drive.
Yeah.
So if I keep it, it'll be my daily.
It's a nightmare. It's not even in the same league, man. It's like I said, even my boosted 2-valve, man, it's not even close.
Right.
Not even close. This car just makes power in a way that's unlike anything other than a PD blower car. I mean, it's PD blower cars just made their power and they're just full. That torque, man, it rotates the tires. You know, obviously we were running like, I don't know, like 30 miles an hour, but you know, it just hooked. The Toyotas do pretty good. They just kind of hook and go.
That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Still got the Cobra back there in the background, all aired out, looking all good and stuff. The ride height is pretty high, but I like it. First experience with a Cobra. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the ride along. I enjoyed meeting this guy in person. I think for the second time. And that's it right there. He rides it high because the road here is so rough. He have to tear the whole car up. But appreciate you for watching. Here's a clip of him leaving.